All right, guys. So I got a message from Jolly Greenberg earlier today where he sent some screenshots essentially where he was arguing with Invader. He said here, biggest ego in the Clash Royale community, in my opinion. I really like this guy as well. I started playing Lava because of him, but he literally just can't admit he's wrong or take criticism for some reason. I was wondering what you think about a fellow content creator by the name of Invader. For context, I'm 14. Invader's a grown man with a big ego. Check out these screenshots. My bad, I'd resend that message. Anyway, he's being a total dick to his fans, is what I think. Covered if you want. I don't know if other people have called him out on this. Well, I am kind of the news and drama guy after all, so I am the one that I guess would cover this for you. And if you guys ever are interested in me doing a video, and I'll potentially consider doing it, definitely make sure to message me if you guys have an idea, because I do try to read all my messages. So, Invader has always been someone that I think treats his YouTube community tab kind of more as a Twitter instead of a community tab. But to be fair, that kind of is his gimmick, I feel like, and it's very unique. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I do think it is a little funny. Sometimes people mention his community tab posts and group chats I'm in, and it's for a good laugh, I'm pretty sure. So I don't mind it at all. You see, just like, holy, worst dream of my life. I know God took his time with her. Every part is perfect. 12 nuggets and a grilled cheese. Don't call my phone. Don't text me. Don't ask to get on Valorant. I'm busy working my ass off. She got to come meet the big O already. This one is crazy. If you know what this means, you know what this one is crazy. I can summarize it for you. It's simple and it goes like this: chicken Alfredo, then stream. Now's the time to remember God, not only when things are bad and you need his help, but when things are going great. You haven't seen nothing yet. Enjoy the show. Meow. Long road trip. Ask me anything. Okay, this one right here. I love when you all comment terrible lists. These takes are crazy. You are literally the people the video is made for. Facepalm emoji. That's okay. If you want to be stubborn and stuck forever, be my guest. And this is where I guess this argument happened. He pinned this one. I've seen a lot of people commenting I'm wrong. I'm very happy to inform you that I am in fact right. That is all. And the argument, I guess, was down here. You know, a lot of people are, throwing hate like your list are buns and stuff like that. Take Muskie off the list. And you can see down here, this is where I think the argument ended up happening. It was over here. Some of your takes are just flat out wrong. Why can't you listen to constructive criticism? Maybe you are the one who's stubborn because this post is written in a very childish manner. And yes, because you know more about the game than a multi-top 100 finisher, please stop. As a guy stuck in Arena 10, I agree his takes are buns. Invader, I've been playing Clash for 7 years, which is half of my life. I started when I was 7 years old on my mom's iPad. I've been playing ever since. Okay, I don't know if it's great, someone playing Clash Royale at 7 years old. I have some questions maybe for the parents. That's okay, maybe besides the point. Maybe nowadays 7 years old is fine. But anyway, he just got back into the game and wanted to really improve and climb high in ladder. I don't have to be in top ladder. I don't have to be the best in the world to know what the fuck I'm talking about. You make that statement just shows you literally cannot take constructive criticism. And I do agree with this guy because I wanted to make a point to kind of prove this point using Ian's tier list as an example. You making that statement just shows you can't take constructive criticism. We all have something to learn from each other, and I'm not, just because I'm not in the top 100 doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. So how about you stop and just admit at least one take in there might not be up to par with what other people think. Just because you're a top 100 player doesn't mean your takes are right. We all make mistakes, but for some reason you choose to not hear anyone out and stay stubborn. Just like you told us we're stubborn, you start acting like the same way. You don't know anything. I don't care how long you've been playing. If you knew anything, you'd be somewhere after 7 years. While the hypocrisy keeps showing again and again, you seem like a really good guy. I really like your content, but why can't you hear other people out? Take constructive criticism. I really like you, dude. I just hate to see you spewing hypocrisy at me like this. Also, I really only started to play ranked a couple years ago. I was still heavily involved with the game and the community, but for fuck's sake, I was 7 years old when I started playing and I was barely conscious at that time. I took breaks from the game and seriously started playing and spending money around 2 to 3 years ago. I will gladly take constructive criticism from someone worth taking that criticism from. You really can't help yourself, can you? Fine. If you don't take it from me, take it from people in your comment section. Do you want to be right? Is that what you want at all costs? I don't understand your thought process, to be honest. If you want to be right, just tell me. And then other people were talking to him. So in my opinion, as a YouTuber that makes these tier lists myself, you have to be someone that is open to constructive criticism from everyone. And you also have to realize a lot of these are very subjective. I don't know if he would want my criticism, but I do agree with a lot of these takes. For example, the Goblin Giant, the E-Barbs. The list is titled 10 useless cards in Clash Royale. And for things like the E-Barbs, I absolutely agree. And maybe the Mini P.E.K.K.A, he's basically advising which cards you want to upgrade and which ones you want to stay away from. In this case, especially the ones you want to stay away from. But when he gets to things, for example, like the Musketeer, as well as the Goblin Barrel, that's where things start to get very controversial, and he was getting a lot of hate for it. Now, I would say the Goblin Barrel is definitely not a great one to include in this video, because Bait's in a very good spot at the moment. And then Musketeer, Loon Cycle's in a really good spot at the moment, which has the Musketeer. And then, of course, Classic 2.6. And you see, though, I will say, he is getting a ridiculous amount of hate from people. I think some people are saying things just to hate because they're not even explaining their reasoning. They're just saying some of these takes are crazy. But some people are making good points. Void, Healer, Barb Hut, what about those? Which were not included in the video. And if I were to make a video like this, I definitely would include those in the video. Rage Bait used to be believable. Saying that Bait is bad because it's hard to play and that Musk isn't the best because she's decent on both offense and defense is wild. And this is just very subjective. The point I'm trying to make is you have to, when you upload these videos, be willing to take criticism for people. For example, and this was the point I was making to prove my point, I would use Ian as an example, a player way better than me. He qualified to the World Finals already. I would say he's a top 3 player in the game, but this is an atrocious ranking, in my opinion, having the Archers at number 22, when in my opinion, they're objectively one of the best evolutions in the game because they single-handedly revived Expo recently and allowed Expo to finish number 1 in the world a couple times. They're also very good inside of things like E-Golem, and you can make them work inside a Giant Graveyard. They're for sure an above average evolution, but he has them below average at number 22, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And Invader's logic would be, well, I shouldn't have any right to criticize Ian because he has better finishes than I do, for example, or is a better competitive player. But the point I'm trying to make is you can be a worse player than someone and disagree with their ranking, and a lot of times you could even be correct, and they might be objectively wrong because even really good players make mistakes sometimes. And of course, I have to deal with this as well too on my videos whenever I'm making these ranking evolution videos. You can see here, I do these pretty often as well, and as you would expect, I get hate in the comments too. I don't think bro plays the game. If I see all I see is Goblin Barrel and Firecracker, Tesla, So Buns, what the heck, Electro Dragon 32 kind of lost whole trust in the list. He thinks it should be a lot higher. You see people disagreeing, it got nerfed dingus, but I think the best thing to do is it's just better to ignore these people or just respectfully explain your reasoning to them as a creator. I think that's definitely the way to go about things. And I don't want to just throw hate at Invader. What really surprised me is even people as old as Shane definitely still struggle with this sometimes. And I'm no perfect angel. Like, I'm not going to get on my high horse and say I never do this. I get into arguments all the time with people on the internet. I just thought this would just be something worth discussing in this video because I thought it was an interesting topic to touch up on, just because, I don't know, I feel like people fail to realize like these tier lists are not objective and they're very, very subjective. So just because like a YouTuber makes them, and that's not even just me or Invader, it's also like with Ian, just because he's one of the best players in the game doesn't mean everything he says is correct and everyone is biased in some way, right? But even Shane, you can see here, this surprised me. I was like reading through some of his older comments where, this, keep in mind, guys, this is like a guy in his like mid 30s, maybe even getting almost to 40. He's got kids and, even he's immature sometimes. You've changed like this. I don't like the new you. The commentary's not giving the Shane vibe anymore like 2 to 3 years ago, back when you were the best. I am disappointed. And he basically just copied the guy's comment, just sent the same thing when literally he just was saying what he didn't like, that's all he was doing. It was just giving constructive criticism, it didn't warrant an immature response like that. What happened to this dude? Again, this is a little bit more toxic, but again, like, I didn't mean any disrespect, a legitimate question. I used to watch you back in the day and it just seemed like you've been through it or something. Wish you the best. Like, people like online, I think need to like relax a little bit. It's so easy to have misunderstandings, especially over text. And yeah, I don't know. That's about it. If you guys enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. You can use creator code BOSS to support me in any Supercell game. And thanks again until next time, guys.